Be up, guys. Be up, guys. Welcome to this. Obviously, the match preview for West Ham and the Bees, obviously, on Saturday. And got plenty of chat about it. Obviously, been a little time off. Haven't played for a while, the Bees. So, should be interesting. And obviously, it's away at the London Stadium at West Ham. So, but obviously, I was just going to go through the sort of match sort of preview thing of it all through the Bees, and seeing if we got any players coming back or injuries or so forth or whatever. And then I'll bring my guest on because we've got Mikez on, so I'll bring him on in a little while after I've done the article. And obviously, a Hammers fan, of course, got his own channel, and obviously we'll talk about all that when I bring him on. But obviously, I'll go through this first, guys, and just talk through all this. And Brentford returned to Premier League action with a trip across the capital to face West Ham on Saturday, 15th of February. So this Saturday, of course, at 3 o'clock. The Bees lost 2-0 to Tottenham. Yeah, I remember it all too well. How? I don't know. At the GTEC Community Stadium last time out, while Graham Potter's side were narrowly beaten 2-1 at Chelsea, and I thought they were very unlucky. I'll talk to Mikez about all that, obviously, afterwards when I get through all this, but very, very unlucky, I thought, West Ham there to lose to Chelsea, but still. Despite some improved performances under the new Hammers boss. Analysis, team news, match officials and more. Here's everything you need to know ahead of the Bees' latest test. Yeah, pre-match analysis, Stephen Gillet, playmaker, stats, the contrasting attacking output of Bees and Hammers. Currently 11th, Brentford travel to London rivals West Ham this Saturday, looking to widen the 4-point gap that currently separates the Bees from the 15th placed Hammers in the Premier League table. With 42 goals scored and the same number conceded, Thomas Frank's side entered the contest as the only team in the top flight with a neutral goal difference. After a period of relative stability and success under David Moyes during the Scots' second spell at the club, West Ham struggled for results under former Real Madrid boss Julian Lopetegui, or Slopetegui, whatever you like to call him, and they will host the Bees this Saturday with Graham Potter in the dugout. Potter will be looking to work his magic in East London, and despite winning one of his 5 games in charge to date, just one, surprisingly. Thought he's done really well, though. The early signs are that a talented West Ham squad have responded positively since the former Brighton and Chelsea manager was appointed last month. It is early days in the 49-year-old's West Ham career, but Potter will be looking for improvements across the board from his squad, particularly in attack. West Ham are currently among the lowest scorers in the Premier League with 29 goals, and a number of their 2024-25 stats contrast starkly with Brentford's efficiency in front of goal. Well, not against Spurs it wasn't, was it? That weren't very good. Couldn't even score. And then we're at home against a team that was struggling. That still wrangles me. I don't know what's going on there. I really don't. Seem to struggle at home now and then doing better away. I don't get it. But anyway, the Bees currently have the best shot on target percentage, 42% in the top flight, while the Hammers have the lowest, 29%. And the two sides' expected goal stats are also at loggerheads. There is no Premier League side with a better XG per shot than Brentford, 0.15, or worse XG per shot than West Ham, 0.11. With Michael Antonio and Nicholas Fulcrew recovering from long-term injuries, the Hammers have been reliant on Jarrod Bowen finding the back of the net this season. And the England international 6 goals, 4 assists is the only West Ham player to reach double figures for Premier League goal involvements this term. Since joining West Ham, Bowen has been impressively consistent, and the forward will take to the stage this Saturday hungry to score his 50th Premier League goal, given he is currently just one short of that milestone. So much needed support for Bowen has arrived in the form of new loan signing Evan Ferguson. Very lucky to get him. I think we were looking to get him. We were interested in getting him. I wouldn't be surprised if he scores against us on Saturday. I really wouldn't. Who's in line to make his debut against the Bees and probably score? Yeah, no doubt. The young Irishman has been unable to establish himself at Brighton this season, but he will be keen to rediscover that form, the form that saw him average a Premier League goal every 158 minutes for his parent club under Potter back in the 22-23 season. Also available for selection for the Hammers this weekend after his loan at Nottingham Forest was terminated is midfielder James Ward-Prowse, whose prowess from free kicks borders on legendary. Now 30, the ex-Southampton man has scored the second highest number of goals from free kicks in Premier League history behind only David Beckham. Currently on 17, Ward-Prowse is just one adrift of the 18 free kicks scored by Beckham during his time at Man United, and the Bees will certainly be aware of the danger that the midfield technician poses on set pieces should he feature. However, arguably the biggest attacking weapon in West Ham's ranks is forward Mohamed Kudus. The 24-year-old possesses genuine X-factor, and his fantastic ability in 1v1 situations is underlined by the fact he tops the Premier League this season for successful dribbles with 59. Scout report, Dan Long, Sky Sports, Potter's opportunity to get Hammers supporters on side. After a season when West Ham had secured a third top-half finish in the last 4 campaigns and allowed David Moyes to leave after the expiry of his contract, whichever side of the Moyes debate Hammers fans were on, most would have expected to see improvement across the board when Julian Lopetegui took over in East London on a 2-year contract. The Spaniard had unfinished business in the Premier League after the 27-game spell at Wolves was ended by mutual consent on 8th of August 2023. My ambition as a coach is always to be better and better, to achieve more and bigger aims, he said after his appointment at the London Stadium. The words were impressive and encouraging, as were the signings, which included Max Kilman, Crescencio Somerville and Nicholas Fulcrew. But as it turned out, there was little to back those words up on the pitch. They lost 5 of the first 10, including against Aston Villa, Tottenham and Nottingham Forest, who they would have been hoping to compete with in a bid to return to the top 7 positions in the table, and had drifted to just above the relegation zone by December, earning just enough points to get by but little else. Having been beaten 5-2 at home by Arsenal on 30th of November, West Ham lost 3-1 to struggling Leicester in the following game. Today is a day where we deserve much more, Lopetegui told Amazon Prime. The next will be the most important. We must be focused. A win against Wolves, successive 1-1 draws against Bournemouth and Brighton, and a 1-0 victory at Southampton followed. But a pair of chastening defeats after Christmas, 5-0 at home to Liverpool and 4-1 away at Man City, forced the hierarchy's hand, and on 8th of January, Lopetegui was sacked after just 22 games, 7 of which he won. The club's statement that followed was very matter of fact. The first half of the 24-25 season has not aligned with the club's ambitions, and the club has therefore taken action in line with its objectives. It read, the process of appointing a replacement is underway. That process was concluded the following day, 9th of January, when Graham Potter, who had already been heavily linked with the job, was appointed as his successor on a 2.5-year contract. It's a bit like Christmas for adults, the former Chelsea boss said when speaking about his excitement for taking on the new role. Potter oversaw his first game the next day, a 2-1 FA Cup third-round defeat to Aston Villa, and won his first Premier League game in charge on 14th of January when the Hammers beat Fulham 3-2. They have since lost to Crystal Palace and Chelsea, as well as drawing away at Villa in between those 2 games. There is a healthy 10-point cushion between his side and the relegation zone at present, but that could soon narrow without improvement. The new Hammers boss utilised his contracts at former club Brighton to bring Evan Ferguson in on loan during the January transfer window, which has remedied the issues in attack, with Mikel Antonio out for the season and Fulcrew's season disrupted by injury. Danny Ings, who has scored just twice in 44 games since the start of last season, was the only fit recognised number 9 at the club. There is now little more to play for than league position, but there is an opportunity for Potter to garner favour with the supporters who will be hoping for something greatly contrasting to what they have endured this season in 25-26. In the dugout, yes, Graham Potter. Solihull-born Graham Potter started out at nearby Birmingham and was playing for the Blues first team by the age of 17 in 1992. After a loan in the third division with Wycombe, the following campaign he moved on to Stoke, but it was not until the 95-96 season that he earned a regular spot in the Potters first team. That year, he helped the club to a fourth place finals in the first division, but they lost 1-0 in aggregate to Leicester in the playoff semi-finals. Potter's performances at Stoke led to a transfer to Southampton and the Premier League for the first time, where he played on 8 occasions. His time at the Dale was short-lived, and next he returned to the Midlands to join West Brom, for whom he played 47 times over 3.5 seasons. It was at York that Potter played his most regular football, though, and between 2000 and 2003 he featured over 100 times for the Minster men in the third division. Following retirement after a season with Mansfield in 2004-05, Potter explored various avenues within football to expand his knowledge of the game, including completing a degree in social sciences and a master's in leadership, as well as working with the Ghana women's and the England universities teams. He then managed Leeds Carnegie for 3 years before taking on the head coach role at Swedish club Östersund. OFK were a fourth division club when Potter took over, but by the time he left in June 2018, they were in the top flight and had been for 3 seasons. He returned to the UK as Swansea's new manager, and 11 months later, Brighton took him to the Amex as Chris Hughton's successor. He took the Seagulls up a level, and in his first full season in 21-22, they set new club records for most Premier League games won, fewest lost, most goals scored, fewest conceded, points earned, as well as finishing in the top half for the first time. Early on in 22-23, Potter and his backroom staff moved to Stamford Bridge, but just over 7 months and only 31 games at Chelsea, he was sacked in April 2023. Potter did not return to management until January 9th, 2025, when he replaced Julian Lopetegui at West Ham. The game plan: with Will Pugh, Sunsport and co-founder of We Are West Ham podcast. Will Pugh, Sunsport and co-founder of We Are West Ham podcast, explains how Graham Potter is likely to set up his side against Brentford on Saturday. With their strongest team, it is a real coin toss between Lucas Fabianski and Alphonse Areola, said Pugh. They are both really good goalkeepers, and they have both been in and out at various points this season, so it's hard to say which one of them will play. I imagine it will be Wan-Bissaka, Jean-Claire Todibo, Mats Kilman and Emerson if he plays 4 at the back. Then it will be Edson Alvarez if he is fit. He was injured for the last game, and Thomas Souček in midfield. Then I would like to think it would be Jared Bowen, probably Mohamed Kudus and Lucas Paqueta if they are both fit, and then Evan Ferguson up front in a 4-2-3-1. I would personally like to see Crescencio Somerville play instead of Kudus, but I do not think he will. And just do this one now, the match officials, and I'll bring Mike's on, and he can obviously talk about this and see if he agrees with a lot of that. Obviously, referees Darren England, assistants James Mannering and Akil Howson, fourth official Stephen Martin, video assistant referee, which are back. Graham Scott. Could have done with some of them in the FA Cup, couldn't they? VAR. First, at least for a couple of contentious decisions, let's put it that way. Saturday afternoon's game at London Stadium will be the 12th Premier League fixture that Darren England has taken charge of this term. Is he actually any good, though, is the thing. Most referees aren't. The Doncaster-born official, who has been the man in the middle for 4 further matches across UEFA Champions League qualifying, Championship, FA Cup and Carabao Cup, last had the whistle for Liverpool's 2-0 win at Bournemouth earlier this season. He has issued 78 yellows and 3 reds in 20 games this term. England is yet to referee Brentford this term, however. He was on VAR duties for the Bees 2-1 loss at Man City in September and away victory over Crystal Palace by the same scoreline last month. The latter of which saw a Brian Mbomo penalty retaken due to encroaching from Mark Gahey. Yeah, certainly remember that. Yeah, last time we played in 2021, well, not last time we played them, but this was a memorable meeting because, of course, we played them obviously before that, last season, and I mean, after all that. But this was obviously from 2021. Brentford marked their first ever visit to London Stadium with a dramatic 2-1 win. I know. I remember. I was there. I was there for it. Brilliant. Brian Mbomo, who had earlier clipped the top of the crossbar with an effort from the edge of the area and headed narrowly wide from the middle of the box, put the West Londoners in front when he slid in on the rebound after Lucas Fabianski had parried a low shot from Sergi Canos. He's no longer with the team. No longer with the Bees, Sergi Canos. But doing well elsewhere, I believe. So that's good. Good for him. Jared Bowen drilled home a half volley with 10 minutes remaining to seemingly snatch a point for the hosts before Johan Visser struck a 95th minute winner to spark wild scenes amongst the travelling Bees fans. It sure was. That sure was. Brilliant. Loved it then. Anyway, I'll bring Mike's on and then we can discuss it a bit more. Big break. Apologies for the delay there while I was going through that. Really apologise, man. Sorry. But what do you make of that there as well about the team? You doing okay? Yeah.
Yeah, doing all right. Thank you for having me on again. It's good to be back on. With the team, especially with Fabianski and Areola, it's been a bit of a difficult one because both of them are like really good goalkeepers. Probably the best like two goalkeeper choices I've seen at West Ham, especially in my lifetime. But the problem is that both of them are kind of been under their level this season. I would say Areola's more suited to the way Graham Potter plays based on distribution wise. I say Fabianski's the better overall goalkeeper just in general, but that doesn't mean Alphonse Areola's bad at like shot stopping. I hate using that phrase because like goalkeepers are meant to be good at that. But with Fabianski, he's getting on a bit. He has had a great football career. He's had a very long football career, but it's not the same Fabianski. He's made too many mistakes for his standard. But I legitimately think that he's just not as sharp as he used to be. And he's just petering on to the end of his career. He's going till 40, to be fair. Even for a goalkeeper, that's still good. Even though goalkeepers go for a long time, very rare that you see them be a first choice at 40. I do think Areola should be the preferred choice for the time being. I think we need a new goalkeeper in the summer, for sure. Fabianski, I don't think they should extend this contract. They keep extending this contract by a year. But if they don't want to get two goalkeepers, maybe just for the cheap option, just extend his contract and then get a proper first choice in if Fabianski's fine being second choice. Obviously, with the whole situation with our back four, because Tadibo's been back in training this week, been out for a while, hasn't been able to play under Graham Potter yet. He got injured on Lopetegui's last game against Manchester City. I think he should go back to a back four. And obviously, we play a 3 in possession anyway. So Wan-Bissaka can tuck into the back 3. And then we just play a winger and Emerson as 2 of the wing backs. With Edson Alvarez, he hasn't been the level that I really expect of a West Ham midfielder, just in general with any midfielder. But Edson Alvarez doesn't really... he takes too many touches with the ball for a defensive midfielder. I feel like if you're not that too good on the ball, you should be just distributing it to the people that are actually going to create something. And the problem is he takes too many touches when he's trying to drive forward with the ball, something he's not that good at. And to be fair, as much as I criticize Thomas Souček quite a lot, since Graham Potter's come in, he's been really good. I don't think he's going to be suited for the long term at West Ham when it comes to this style of play. However, he's played his part really, really well. For me, I need to see more from the bigger players apart from Jared Bowen at this club, because Bowen's just come back from injury, and he scores goals. He's our best finisher. But people like Kudus and Lucas Paquetá need to step up for me. Like, I feel like I've seen a high level of them in moments at this club. I just haven't seen it over a consistent amount of time. And this is probably the best coach in terms of just general coaching on the pitch that we've had in my lifetime. So there's not really any excuses that I can really give more to these players that I expect from. And also, if I expect more from you, I'm going to probably criticize you even more as players. So with Paquetá and Kudus, I need them to step up, because as much as Kudus should probably be dropped for Saturday, he probably won't be because of what he's capable of. Despite the fact that Graham Potter is probably one of the more ruthless managers when it comes to team selection and tactics and stuff as well. I'm hoping Evan Ferguson starts, but he might not just have the match sharpness. But we're definitely going to also miss Somerville on the weekend as well.
Yeah, whatever there. It looks like it'll be a strong team, and it'll be a real tough one for us, I think. Probably lose. Because, I mean, actually our away form was sort of coming back. We were sort of getting the away form together, and at home been shit. Because against Spurs, how the hell did we lose to Spurs at home?
Yeah.
And they're struggling. And you can see the other day they were shit as well. And yet we lost to them.
Yeah.
I still can't get over it, man. I still can't.
Yeah, I don't know how they kept the clean sheet.
Yeah. And how are we losing to them, man? I just can't get. I don't get it. And our home form was amazing at one stage. It really was. We were, getting loads of goals. Okay, we're conceding them, but at least we were getting plenty of goals and attacking, entertaining. And then it sort of regressed. It's gone backwards. I don't know what's going on with it. And then suddenly we're getting good, decent results away. But I still think we're going to lose to you on Saturday. I just got a feeling we will. I've just got no confidence anymore now. It's just, we have one or two great results and then we go backwards again. We lose. We keep, it's the same shit all the time. And I don't know what to do now, man. I just don't know what we're going to do. It's, I hope we can get something. I mean, the last time we played you was at home and, of course, drew 1-1 last year. I even thought then we should be beating you. You were struggling with Lopetegui. Lopetegui. But I thought really we should be beating you at home. We did draw. It wasn't a defeat, but still wasn't great. But I'm sure you're much happier now with Potter. I mean, he's improved you a lot. It was interesting reading there when he was a player. I don't really remember him as a player. I don't know about you.
No. Like, to be honest, obviously, like, when he was playing, it was a bit before my time, but even then, when he was, like, manager of Brighton, I never even heard his player career get talked about, really. I just heard his managerial career being talked about. I didn't know he played for West Brom. I didn't know he played for West Brom, so that even though I watched like the old Premier League years episodes, I never saw his name come up. I never saw his face. So like, it must have been like when they were in the Championship and stuff like that. But yeah, really happy under Graham Potter. Like, I think the rest of the season for me is just pre-season, like an extended pre-season, just for him to get used to the lineup, used to the team, and see who can fit and who can stay in the summer, so we can progress next season, hopefully. Obviously, it doesn't really say much that we've improved because the previous manager was probably one of the worst managers I've ever seen, just in general. Forget West Ham, and we saw what Graham Potter was trying to do in one training session because he got appointed a day before the FA Cup game against Villa, and we saw what he was trying to do style of play wise. Whereas with Lopetegui, he was 8 months in, and we still didn't know what he was trying to do from there. And to be honest with you, I think I kind of feel sorry for Potter because instantly, as soon as he's come in, people have just been getting injured, players coming back and stuff as well. And as much as we're like 16th or whatever in the table, we're not actually like deep in the relegation battle. Like, I know people joke about Tottenham and Manchester United, and we're on the same amount of points as one of them, and we're around them as well. But none of us are actually in the relegation battle because Leicester, Ipswich, Wolves, and Southampton have done so badly that they're just competing with each other. That's why I never thought Everton were really deep in that either. I never saw them getting relegated, even if they had kept touch as well. Like, the teams around that space, I never thought we're in a relegation battle. For me, and people are going to be like, oh, but what if they pick up 2 wins and 3 wins? Well, history says they can't really win 2 games in a row. And that when Leicester won their last game, it was against Tottenham, and that was their first time in ages. The actual last win before Tottenham was against us, against Lopetegui. Like Ipswich won against Tottenham. Like Southampton won against Everton, and Ipswich. That's the only two teams they've beaten, Wolves don't win many games either. So I'm not really worried about relegation. But with Graham Potter, he can now basically just relax, play his football. We looked really improved. We were unlucky against Chelsea, but it's a case of we should put our chances away when we're creating, and that's the next part. Under the previous two managers, our problem was creating. Like, forget scoring, it was legitimately creating. We had Jaron Bowen. If you create enough, Bowen will score if he's on the pitch. Because as much as the other people won't turn up, Bowen will step up. But now it's about finishing. Bowen can't do everything on his own. We play an attacking brand of football, but also keeping the defence solid, which is nice and balanced. I don't mind what style of play you play at West Ham as long as it works. And under this manager, it just works. Like, he keeps the defence solid, and he can get the best out of the attacking players, I'm sure. So I'm just looking forward to see what's going to happen in the future. But I think a lot of these players are probably not the level that Potter needs. I think Potter's going to need a lot of help in the summer for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got your thing up there, mate. That's at GVO there, Mikes. GVO Mikes.
Thank you very
so
much.
if you want to put your rest of your socials in there, bro, you're welcome to anytime and put it all in. Because I did see them all, but I've only managed to put that in. I put that in the description. So
yeah, it's fun.
if you want to put the rest in, you're welcome to, bro, you know. Because I know you've got a lot of socials and stuff. So
like, people can find me at GVO Max on all platforms. Like, you just type that in. It's calm. It's the same username for everything. So if people want to follow me on there.
Right. But no worries, man. Sorry I haven't been on your show lately. I've just been, in the live chat. I mean, there's just been so much going on, man. It's just...
Yeah, of course.
And there's so many other channels as well, and trying to go to everyone else's and, and do my own as well.
Yeah, of course.
It's very hard, So
yes, right.
But I just got this article here, and obviously this is sort of a predicted 11.
Yeah.
We'll see. You maybe might agree or disagree with any of these or whatever. So West Ham will be looking to return to winning ways against Brentford. I'm sure they will. After they lost to Chelsea, Graham Potter has taken over from Julian Lopetegui and has wasted little time in adopting changes to the system at the Hammers. Which needed doing, didn't it? There was some positives to take from the 2-1 loss to Chelsea last week, and Potter will be very unlucky there, by the way. I thought to lose there. And Potter will be hoping that his side can win against the Bees on Sunday. It's not Sunday, is it? Tomorrow.
Saturday. Yeah, they've got it wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. 15th February, yeah. Bloody pathetic. Yeah. Where is this from? Is this old? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's bad. I should be sacked for that, I think. Lucas Paqueta and Edson Alvarez can make their return to the playing 11. Andy Irving started in the middle of the park. Don't know him. Do you know much about Andy Irving?
Just funny, none of us, not even West Ham fans, knew about him before the summer. Like, he was just a guy who randomly appeared in pre-season and ended up impressing. So he's in the squad now.
Right, okay. He started in the middle of the park for the Hammers against Chelsea, while Carlos Soler played in the attacking position behind Jared Bowen. However, Potter is set to receive an injury boost, with both Lucas Paqueta and Edson Alvarez expected to be fit for the game over the weekend. This could see Alvarez coming in for Irving, offering much needed solidity in midfield alongside Thomas Souček. The other change would be Paqueta coming in with Soler, making way for the ever talented Brazilian. West Ham going into the Brentford clash as favourites, Mikes. Yeah, I think you will. Somehow, I just got a feeling we're going to lose. To secure a victory against Brentford over the weekend, the Hammers will need to focus on key areas. They must capitalise on their home advantage at the London Stadium by leveraging the support of their fans to boost morale and performance. Defensively, they should aim to neutralise Brentford's threats. Well, got some, I suppose. Particularly from set pieces and counter-attacks, as the Bees have a reputation for being tactically astute under Thomas Frank. Yeah. Sometimes, though, too defensive. I'm sorry. Really are. Yeah, Potter's side needs to ensure that their back line remains organised and communicative. In the final third, they should exploit Brentford's defensive vulnerabilities through quick, incisive passing and by utilising the creativity and goal-scoring prowess of players like Bowen and Mohamed Kudus. The return of key players like Paqueta and Alvarez could provide the midfield solidity and attacking flair necessary. Moreover, maintaining possession to control the game's tempo will be crucial, aiming to wear down Brentford before launching decisive strikes. And there's the predicted 11 there, Mike. So, what do you make of that?
I think they're going to get a couple of things wrong. I think for me, because Tadebo's been training, he'll come in for. I'd like to think that he'd go back to a back three, but with a winger in a wing back position, and have Tadebo in for Cresswell. Because I don't see that. I think Cresswell and Sufo they've done a relatively good job for what they are, sort of thing. But again, like if we've got more players fit, we need to bench them. I'd like to think Evan Ferguson comes in for Sufo, and then we put Kudus at wing back, and Bowen and Paquetá just behind Evan Ferguson. That's what I think he should do. In terms of predicted, like I guess Alvarez and Paquetá will come straight back in because I see Irving being dropped. I think what they said about Alvarez offering solidity, that's what he should be doing, but that's what he hasn't been doing. Like you'd like to think so. You'd like to think so, but Alvarez hasn't been doing that. He's very pretty much a liability when it comes to like trying to defend, even though he's a defensive midfielder, meant to be naturally defensive. But for me, Evan Ferguson needs to come in straight away. He's had 2 weeks to train. He should be fine. He should be fit. So start him. Put Bowen and Paquetá just in behind. Put Kudus where Sufal is. Let Wan-Bissaka, Tadebo, and Kilman be the back three in possession. I think we need to stop. Like the 5 defenders thing is fine because we didn't have many attackers fit. Somerville wasn't fit. Bowen wasn't fit. Guilherme doesn't play, and that's the thing. Like he still keeps the same principles and formation no matter what. But he needs to switch it around now that we've got attacking options there. So hopefully we actually have Evan Ferguson there because we need a striking presence up front. God knows how he's actually going to do that. I think he's an okay signing for a loan, but I don't think it's like groundbreaking or anything. I think it's just a number for the rest of the season that to give him playing time sort of thing. But I'm hoping he goes more to a 3. I have hope that he will because he's very ruthless in terms of how he changes the team. I'm not too confident against you lot either. I mean, don't have the greatest record against you. I know we beat you last season, but at the same time, like I see this being a draw sort of thing. Like I feel like we're just not we're okay in that in terms of like Potter's just starting sort of thing. I don't think you guys are the greatest of form either, especially away from home. I know you're not. Like, so I just think it'll be a clash of like. So I don't think it'll be the greatest of games, to be honest. It can either be really open or really tight, and there's just barely any shots. So I think maybe like a 1-1. But with the attackers that we should play, I'm hoping that we create a lot more chances and hopefully be more clinical. But you never know with West Ham.
Mm. Yeah, that's right, bro. Well, I think whatever team you put out, I think it'd be too much for us. I just got a feeling. I just know what it is because okay, we've had time now. We've had time to rest. We've had time to get things sorted out after that shit show against Spurs, and that's exactly what it was. Shit show. How we could be losing to them, I really don't know. We didn't even have Flecken in goal, and we thought, because he's a fucking disaster in goal, mate. Flecken. And then we had Van Larsen and we still couldn't win. So it's just still letting in goals. But hopefully we might be able to do something. And obviously there's comments here. Dale, boys in here. Big up to you, Dale. Great to see you in here, bro. And of course Warren as well. Big up to you, Warren. Thanks for coming in here, fella. Brilliant. And saying hope you're well. And
thanks.
Yeah, and we'll see. I think we move on here. I think there's obviously other stuff here that says about it as well. Head-to-head prediction and team news. Yeah. Anything else there? I can't. Yeah, I think there is a bit here. Is that anything? Oh, this is the guide. West Ham lost, drawn, lost, won, lost. Brentford lost, won, lost, drawn, and lost.
Same form,
much.
really.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, definitely. We've already obviously gone through your predicted lineups there. Would you have Ings up there?
No, probably not. I don't think he can play 90 minutes. I don't think he can play 90 minutes anymore, unfortunately. But he's good coming off the bench for the last 20. But he's not. He's still not the same Danny Ings from like a few years ago. But also they put Mavropanos in there. He's one of the worst centre backs in the league, by far. One of the worst. He's such a like error-prone sort of player. Like, so if he plays, I can see us conceding at least 2. Like if he plays alone, because he makes the whole defence worse. But it says a lot about him that Graham Potter's chosen to play fullbacks in his position rather than him because of how bad he's actually been. Like he got a red card against Palace. One of the reasons why we lost, even though it was more than just him. We played better against Chelsea with Soufal and Cresswell at centre back.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, he's that bad. Even Arsenal don't want him. Mavropanos. He was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
pretty poor, man. But
would that be your predicted lineup for Brentford?
I guess so. I wouldn't really have Flecken in goal myself, but I don't know. It don't seem to matter what goalie we have, we're still conceding. So I think he will be back if he is fit. I'm sure he probably will be.
Yeah. So, I don't know how you conceded that first goal to Tottenham, that corner. That was wild. I didn't understand how you conceded that, honestly.
It was laughable, man. It was right. Oh, shit show. That was cock up. That was that. And I don't know. It was just we're generally actually we're pretty good at defending set pieces. We are generally quite good at that. But I don't know what happened that day. It was just terrible, man. I just want to forget it, really. But unfortunately, I can't. It's something that's on my mind. I can't forget that anymore. But we have got to move past it and sort of get on with playing you. We've had time out to do that.
Yeah.
I suppose to get it together. Hopefully we can get something, but I'm not entirely confident. Obviously, I guess this probably will be our lineup. I mean, we got that new signing. We got to come in the right back, Coyote.
Yeah.
He may play. I don't know. It's possible we may get a debut. So, okay, he came on against Spurs, but not starting. I mean, not about starting debut here, possibly. So, yeah, of course, I like to see him there. He does shore things up a bit better in defence. And obviously, Collins has had an amazing season. Been awesome this season for us, to be honest. And Vandenberg, hit and miss. I don't know what to make of him. At times, he looks decent. He looks fairly comfortable on the ball. But can also look bad and slot and shit at times. So, Lewis Potter's had a great season. I must admit, he's been brilliant. Best I've seen since he's come to the team. And Norgard, of course, well, yeah, he's been generally really good, really great again this season. Obviously in and out a little bit with injuries and stuff, but he's still been brilliant. Yannick can be good. We know what he can do without getting own goals, of course. That's better. Get him in the right net would be good. But, and Bomo, quality. But he went missing against Spurs, I think. I don't know what happened there. He wasn't his best, I don't think. Shame, really. He's quality, though. Damsgaard has had an amazing season as well. He's been incredible since the first. I've seen him have a really great season since he's been here,
Yeah.
He's got quality. He's quality. He's played for Denmark so many times, But it's, it was bringing it out, that talent out of him, and he has got it. But he's showing it this season, I think. So that's about time, Shardy can turn up with goals. We know that. He's a little bit in and out as well, hit and miss at times. But when he gets it right, when you see him do something, he got a fantastic hat trick against Leicester there, and a great header against Palace. Obviously getting injured while doing it, but it was a great header, great goal. So that we have got Danger Vista, of course. A lot of teams are after him. I'm still not entirely sure he's a natural finisher. I mean, he has got goals, and he obviously overtook Tony as top goal scorer here. But I'm still undecided about whether he's a real top quality. I know a lot of teams want him, and I thought, well, if we get enough money for him, yeah, let him go. If we can get loads, get 45, 50 maybe. I'd love that. Because, we don't want to let him go cheap again. We've done that before. Raya went cheap, and that wasn't good, to let him go cheap like that. So, they want our players. They want our big players, our top players. Pay the money. Get the money off them. The big money. No excuses. Not like tart arses like fucking Arsenal and all that, trying to pay less.
Yeah, and, that's why you got to overcharge any team. You got to overcharge, especially the big six teams. Like we did that with Declan Rice. So Declan Rice isn't worth 100 million, but we knew what we were doing with that. Like the one thing that our owner's actually good at is getting money. That's the only thing he's really known for. Really, he's not actually good at spending it. He's not good at running a football club. But one thing he loves is money. So what he literally we used Declan Rice up until his last year to still get 105 million because we know they're not going to wait another year to get him on a free because they needed a midfielder like that. So we knew we were going to get money for that. You got to extort these teams because I think you do well to get 50 million out of Wisa. But at the same time, if you do get 50 million out of Wisa and you actually spend the money, like you could really reinvest into your attack in terms of attacking depth, but also defensive depth. Because I know Rico Henry's been up for nearly a year and a half. Rico Henry, probably one of my favorite players at Brentford. I'll be real because I think shout out to yourself, Warren. This is the thing with Rico Henry. I know we were interested years ago. We were interested 2020 or something, trying to get Rico Henry when Moyes was there. But obviously he signed a new contract with you guys back then. And I think he's been a big miss. But I think your manager's done well with the players that he has to deal with the injuries quite well because the Keane Lewis Potter thing, again, another player West Ham were interested in. I can make 4 starting 11s about West Ham players that West Ham missed out on. And Keane Lewis Potter was one of them. And he's done really well because Lewis Potter obviously can play wing back, but he's never played in a back 4 because he's a winger. And he's done really well to tuck the right back into a back 3 and then just make Lewis Potter just have to his own thing. And that's what's made you score a lot of goals. Like Lewis Potter, Wisa, and Mbeumo, Sade. Coming up against all of them and Damsgaard at the same time is a headache for any team when played right. If you take the handbrake off, a lot of defenders are worried about that. I think Norgard as well. I think Norgard's been one of the most underrated players for the past couple of years in the Premier League.
Quality,
obviously, players outside the big 6 don't really get enough credit unless they actually break into the spaces where they're not expected to. A lot of the Bournemouth players still don't get credit even though they're doing so well. But Norgard is someone who should be getting credit because he's really good on the ball. He's really good defensively. He does his job really well. He's better than Alvarez, by far. Yano's good on this day. Even Mateus. I remember Jensen had a masterclass against us last season, when you beat us. I think you beat us 3-2 at your ground. Jensen ran the pitch. He ran the whole game. He was nutmegging our players and everything. But yeah, you guys have got a good squad. I think sometimes you just need to invest a little bit more, and then you can actually be higher than people think. You would take the league by storm in terms of the fact that you could have been where Bournemouth are now. Because I think your manager is good enough. And I think your manager is very good at tweaking it tactically, and I think he's at the right club. He doesn't need to go anywhere because at times the grass isn't always greener. And for me, I also he maybe could go to a bigger club and then do better, but at the same time, he's at the right club. If you're in the right surroundings and you're doing well, and you're happy. There's no need to change it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan of a team outside the big 6, but you don't need to change it all the time. That's why it's like Sean Dyche at Burnley. It was good until it wasn't good. It's a lot of. I think Iraola shouldn't leave Bournemouth because he's building something good. I just think sometimes it's not always about moving. You want to make the right step in your career at the right time. He's got a lot of time on his hands, so when he wants to leave, he wants to leave. But I think if you invest a little bit more, in the summer, you guys can be where Bournemouth are. You guys can even be where Forest are if you invest rightly correctly. Because if you think about it, a lot of these big 6 teams are underperforming. A lot of these big 6 teams aren't are being run like big clubs anymore. If you look at Chelsea, if you look at Arsenal, Man United have never been run like a big club for about 11 years. Tottenham have never been run like a big club ever. Like, these teams are underperforming. Like, it's only going to be Man City and Liverpool that are going to fix up. So third place onwards is up for grabs for anyone, in my opinion. And I think it should be one of our clubs, realistically. Like, in my opinion, I feel like if one of our clubs just fixes up, it could be one of us. Because Bournemouth has showed you can do it. Forest, you showed you can do it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, mate. You know, yeah, we should be there. We should, like you said, we should be up there. It's just, I don't know, we just can't seem to get that extra step forward to do it and get these other players in that we need. And it's just, or at times I think Thomas is too, interested in getting us funneling back behind the ball. You know, being defensive. You've got to get forward. You want goals. The only way you can do it is by going forward.
Yeah.
And keep funneling back all the time. I don't like that. And not going out to the ball either. He's not going out to tackle.
Yeah.
He's sort of letting them play. You let any team play, they'll play you off the pitch, and even if they're a poor team, really, lie down or whatever. And no offence to those teams, but they're not, don't play as good as football. But I just want to see. I just know we can be better than this. I know we can, and it's so annoying. It's frustrating, that we're not moving as far forward as I thought we could. I mean, when we first come up, I thought we were amazing. Took the Premiership by storm. Yeah, we had Tony, and whatever you say about the man, I hated him as a man, but as a player, he's fantastic. Got us loads of goals. But, and as a team as well, we sort of we went for teams, big teams, the Giants. We didn't let them play. We were in their faces, at them all the time. And that's gone for some reason. That is sort of after a couple of seasons now, that's gone. And we're not the same team now. We've not got that spine at the back either. That back four we had, of course, as you say, Rico Henry. That doesn't help that he's been out for so long. And he came back recently, but of course has gone out again now with another injury.
Oh, okay.
And he as well been out so long, and that's another one. So it's just not been good for us. And of course, at least we got rid of Madzer-Orsleff. He was a weak link there at the back. I always thought he was weak, and I never knew what to make of him, that he was anything special, and he's proved it a lot. But he's gone to Wolfsburg, and good luck to him. I hope he does well there. He's only on loan. He may come back, but I wish him all the best. I just don't think he's a good enough player for us. So, but he might do well in Germany. So you never know. But yeah, it's just it's hard, Mike. I don't know what to say about it. We've gone down from the first two seasons we came up, and last season we were flirting with relegation as well. Good.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're in danger of that this season. Definitely not. But I'd like to see us get into that top 10. I thought we could, but there's reasons we're going back down again. We lose against Spurs and teams like that who are on bad form, and we still can't beat them. And going out of things like FA Cup and that, things we have a chance, like against Plymouth, yeah. Of course, they beat Liverpool as well. So good on them for that. But, it just shows we're not that bad a team if we're in that bracket of losing to Plymouth as well and Liverpool. But it's horrible. And the Carabao Cup as well. I thought we had a great chance of that this season. I really did, And then we got knocked out by Newcastle in the quarters. So, but that's such a shame. But no, I'd like to see us get into that top 10. I'd like to see us get Europe. We were so close to it a couple of seasons ago. We were close to that. Love to see that again. Warren now, I think Mr. B would agree that the idea is to make the Bees England's #1 club. Well, yeah. Well, I doubt that'll ever happen, but I don't know. It's a fantasy, I guess, in the way that Celtic are trying to do in Europe. Yeah, they were unlucky. They lost. Was it 2-1? Wasn't it? Did they lose 2-1? Was it 2-1? Yeah, first leg or 3-1 was it? I can't remember now. Maybe 3-1 in the end. They lost in the Champions League, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Only the first leg, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be tough for them. Need to get rid of Flecken. Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, I know we do. But I don't think that'll happen either. So I think we're stuck with him, kind of thing. But anyway, I'll just go to my team again. Just look at obviously this was obviously the last game against Spurs. I want to forget, but I can't. And we had Valdemarson in goal, and I thought it'd be a lot better with him. He's taller. He's obviously Icelandic international as well, number one. I thought he was going to be loads better, but no. Still conceded. Conceded 2 goals. So, Aya was there, but he went off, and Coyote. I'd like to see him actually get a run out, Coyote. I'd like to see him what he can do. He looked good when he come on, actually, and he looks like he wants it. And that's something I like to see in a player. He's only I think 20 or something.
Yeah,
under 20 international for Italy. So he's got a long throw on him as well. We seem to have a lot of players with long throws. So, he looks good. I think he could be organised, could be good at the back. Strong at the back. So if he were to play, I think that'd be brilliant against you lot. So. Of course, Lewis Parr, we know. I already said about him. Janelt, as you said, mentioned Jensen as well. He's been in and out a bit this season with injuries and stuff, but he is quality, as we all know. As I said, Coyote, Yarmuluk, another one I rate. I rate this guy. He's only about, I think, 20 odd, something, early 20s. So best is yet to come from him as well. Been disappointed with Carvalho. We got him from Liverpool, and I thought he'd be really good. I really did,
Yeah.
He was great. I think was it Hull at one stage when he was on loan there.
He was there.
And coming from Liverpool, you'd think you get somebody decent, wouldn't you? So, but he just hasn't quite done it. He's got 2 goals, I believe. I think 2 or maybe 3, but not enough. And I don't think he's done it enough. So. It's just a shame, really. Of course, Pinnock, hopefully we'll get him back because he'll shore that defence up as well, make it more solid. Be good if he can play against you lot. That'd be brilliant. I think we'd have a good, hopefully a decent defence, and I think going forward we should have plenty of dangers for you, threats there. So who would you pick out? I mean, obviously you got Mbomo, we got Visser, Shardy. Who do you think Dam's got on the court?
Yeah, I think Brandon Bumo's the obvious one. I think I've discussed on a lot of shows with him before that he never really got his credit because Tony was there, but he was always good then. He was still just as good then, but it's just people are seeing it now because Tony's not there. He was always contributing, but he's really taken the main man sort of thing by storm, and I think he's getting his credit now. So maybe he's no longer underrated by the wider scale, but at the same time he was quite underrated before Tony left, because they were just a very good partnership. But Tony got more of the credit. He's the number 9. He's the English number 9 that was at Newcastle before. He's had talk about him before that. But yeah, him as well. Obviously. I'm more scared of Wisa off the bench, when he used to come off of the bench and score, rather than him starting. But at the same time, he's still a goal threat. I think whoever plays on the left, I'm not too worried about because of Wan-Bissaka. I trust Wan-Bissaka to deal with anyone because of how good he is 1v1. But at the same time, Brandon Bumo on the other side, if he gets any space, it could be long. But Brandon Bumo's the obvious one. I think I'm glad you said Pinnock because he's dangerous, in both boxes. If it's from a corner, He's got one of the best. He's already tall enough as it is, but he's got a great leap on him. Like in terms of like aerial ability, it's going to be very hard to swinging any crosses or putting any set pieces when he's there himself. Like you guys have got a tall team as it is, but I think he's got great leadership. He's underrated as well. I think he's been good since you guys have been promoted to the Prem, and because I watched the Championship as well. When I watched the back end of that season, I always picked him out as one of the main people for me. So I always thought he was like quite decent, good on the ball, good aerially, just good defender in general, well balanced as well. And he's had a really good career in the Premier League. Unfortunately, I know he's been injured a bit, but like coming back, he could probably like shore up your defense for the rest of the season. You wouldn't be conceding as much if he's there, especially, and it'll give you that left-footed balance in possession as well. With him, Collins, and Aya maybe for the rest of the season as the three that play. And I think Pinnock and Mbeumo for me, like they really stand out because they always have good games against West Ham, but they always have good games in general.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And as Warren said here, Aaron Hickey, he's still out, mate. I'm afraid. I'm afraid he's still out, Warren. So, no one Warren knows much about because he's obviously Scottish, and I think was he at Celtic before? I can't remember. Was he at Celtic? I know he was in Scotland at the team.
I think so. Yeah, I think he was at Celtic.
He remembers him well.
He was at Bologna, wasn't he? He was at Bologna before Brentford.
Yeah, he was at Bologna, but I think he was in Scotland to start with somewhere.
Probably.
Yeah, he's quality. Obviously, Scottish international. Only young guy as well still. So I think he's only early 20s or something. But
yeah.
But it's such a shame, really, because he is quality, and we do miss him there. But he's apparently coming back to training. I think in August. Is it August or April? No, actually April, I think. So, he started at Hearts, Warren saying. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, he's coming back. I think it is April. I think actually. So. Yeah, he'll be back in training, and hopefully we'll start again at some stage. So that'll help us for the running for the end of the season. So brilliant. But yeah, maybe we could get a top 10. Maybe we could get 10th or 9th or something. I'd love it,
Yeah.
But I'm not holding out much hope. But you never know. Bayern were interested in him at one point. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, he's a quality player, but I just want to get him right. He's got so many injuries for some reason, but which ain't good enough. But there you go. It's getting him fit. But yeah, so what do you make of your season so far then, Mike?
Very disappointing. But I didn't really have as much expectation as other West Ham fans, but also a lot of neutrals. Just purely for the reason I think it was actually on the first stream I was on with you, like the RSS stream at the start. We're doing the predictions and stuff. I remember when a lot of us predicted, everyone predicted West Ham to finish high. I remember saying to everyone, like, we are West Ham. It's not going to go as well as you think it will, but also new manager, new players doesn't equal it's going to hit the ground running straight away, because like it's going to take a lot of time to get used to. And to be honest, I wasn't exactly inspired by the Lopetegui appointment in the first place. But the point was, I'm going to give you a chance. And I am fair. But 5 games in, I knew what it was. I knew when we lost to Chelsea, when we lost 3-0, that this guy was not going to be good enough. Now, I had to wait until January, the very start of January, to actually finally have this guy gone. Generally, and I'm a West Ham fan, so I know when something's bad when I see it. Like, he's a horrible manager. Like, he's probably the worst manager we've had, because in my era, because as much as we had Avram Grant that got us relegated to 20th place, with the squad that we have, it's based on what you're currently achieving with the squad you have. And with the players that we have, they were way better than what they were showing. And with Lopetegui in charge, because we didn't know what his style of play was. Now, the problem is as well, we had a technical director called Tim Snowden who was running the transfers and stuff like that as well. Not running all of it. Unfortunately, he doesn't get full control because this is West Ham. For some reason, we don't want to go the modern way because of the owner we have. We don't like to evolve with other clubs and the timing of football, even though that's what they like to brief to the media and random podcasts that they appear on. But he was getting all the flack because of some of these players weren't working out. But common sense would tell you that it's the manager. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think all of the signings have done well, and I've criticised the technical director for some things as well, but he's now gone. He's now gone because of other political reasons upstairs. And David Sullivan's now taking charge of transfers again until we get more recruitment in for Graham Potter with his background thing. And the logic of kicking someone out for a bad window when the owner's had many bad windows in the past is quite ironic and quite hypocritical, to be completely honest with you. And that's what we're kind of suffering with. At the same time, as much as we've had our waves of like good form, bad form over the years at West Ham, there's only been one like anomaly in the whole situation, and that is the owner. But he's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. So it's kind of like, well, we don't want to kind of just put up with it, but that is the issue. We're not going to get anywhere and not be consistent because of that. I wasn't expecting Europe this season. Going back to the predictions and stuff, I said 10th at the start of play. If you can give me 10th at the start of play, that's a good first step to then be a constant challenging team for Europe again. And people can say, well, you finished 9th last year. Well, if you had watched West Ham last year, we were getting battered week in, week out. The 9th place was a false position in the table because a lot of the teams around us, such as Newcastle, Brighton, Chelsea, Manchester United, were doing just as bad as us. So that's why we finished 9th. We could have finished about 13th if the league was actually serious and teams around us were just as serious. But with this season, it's been even more of a step backwards than last season because we're still getting battered. The problem is now we didn't have an identity. So when I did my predictions of 10th at a start of play, we're not 10th and we don't have a start of play until Graham Potter came in. That was the problem. Like, you're even below my expectations. I'm expecting nothing. I don't really expect much from West Ham, but I demand a lot because we moved to the London Stadium to go up to the next level, as the owners like to brief it towards. So that's why I have high expectations. If he was at the old stadium, I wouldn't be expecting much. I'll be quite chill. I'll be a chill, miserable West Ham fan. I'm not. I'm a chaotic, miserable West Ham fan now. So that's the thing with West Ham, that they build your hopes up and just strike you down all the time. But I've learned for finally the 5th time that we don't need to get your hopes up at West Ham because it's West Ham. But at the same time, I expect a lot more. I'm going to keep demanding more. And hopefully Potter brings us that next season. But we've done him dirty with the hiring because we hired him one day before an FA Cup game, which is a cup I love and a cup I love to take serious, but this club never take it serious. But also in the middle of a transfer window where we don't get much done in January anyway. But what's the point when you don't give the guy time? Now we've got to change all our targets because of a new manager. He's going to want different players. He's going to want different players in the position that we need. So the way we've appointed him was stupid because we should have appointed him a long time ago. We should have appointed him in the summer because he was free. But he's always been free. He's been free since the Chelsea thing. I know Chelsea was still paying him off, but there's no way you could have still these guys are billionaires. They can find a way around contracts. But they can find a way around the contracts. I'm sure you could have still got him in the job whilst Chelsea was still paying for him, etc. But yeah, right now it's kind of just pre-season, and then we actually have the actual pre-season where he can get his own players. We've got players coming back from loan. He's including the youth as well now, which is a demand that we have when hiring the manager. We've got a youth system that's actually good enough for you to include youth players now, so there's no excuse. So we've included Ollie Scholes in a few games, a young left back, young left wing back that has contributed quite a bit. Good competition for Emerson. He'll probably play like 20 minutes against Brentford, probably come on for Emerson last 20 minutes of the game. That's usually what's been happening in the past few games. But I'm kind of looking forward to it under Potter, but I'm not getting my hopes up too high because this is West Ham.
It's looking a lot better than under on Lopetegui, whatever you call him. It was looking really bad, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You got Potter, you got more hopes of getting something, winning something, or doing something. Really.
Yeah.
Maybe not this season, of course, but I'm sure next season you could be aiming for a lot of things, a lot of possibly you can get to Europe again, or win an FA Cup or something like that, Carabao Cup, maybe something like that. So I'm sure you can under Potter. You've got more of a chance under him. So it's looking good for you lot in a way. So I hope you do come back. Well. I was a bit surprised you lost to Chelsea there because I thought you were a better team.
Yeah.
Most of that. probably had a lot of good chances as well. So, what did you make of that game?
Yeah, I thought we were really good. I thought we were really good up until when we kind of, I guess, capitulated. But at the same time, it's a case of when you go 1-0 up anytime, and this is a problem West Ham have, you got to capitalize on it. A lot of our game plan was just capitalizing off their mistakes, but we should have forced that a lot more. I think we did the right amount of defending and pressing at the same time. I think he got the game plan spot on, the way he played with the 5-4-1, because we pressed at times where they were going to make mistakes, but also like we defended well when we kept it tight and we got to nullify them. And they had chances, but they didn't really. I can't say they didn't deserve to win the game, because whoever wins the game wins the game. If you win the game, you deserve to win. Simple as that. Like, I don't really care about deserving to win. If you did, you had more shots than the other team, but you didn't score them. You didn't deserve to win. Like, as simple as that. Because the other team were just more clinical at the end of the day. And listen, like, people could talk about referees as well in that game, but referees are bad every game. Referees are bad every game, so I don't expect anything from referees. They're clueless. Like, so I'm not really going to complain about referees. I've seen decisions go for us. I've seen decisions go against us. So happens to every team, is what it is. But we should be doing better defending those goals, and we should be doing better in terms of scoring. The players should do better in each box. I think with the squad that we had that was fit on the day, he used subs really well. He's still using 5 subs, even though he doesn't have the squad. He's put on youth players. He's taken off other players at certain points where he needs to. I think just take the handbrake a little bit more off now that we've got more players back. I'm sure he will, because of the way he is as a manager. But maybe that was just a game that was just too soon for us. I think it was a bit of a missed opportunity given the position they were in. But then you can look at us and being like, the position we're in as a squad with the injuries we have, maybe it was just too much for us. But at the same time, I think it's a lot of encouraging signs. There was a lot more positives I could take from that game than negatives.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'm sure he would like to get one over on Chelsea as well.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well, you know, he would have loved it, wouldn't he? But I know Ancelotti's saying thanks to Davy Moyes. He's saying that. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, he's doing fairly well at Everton, isn't he? Doing well since he's gone back there. So,
yeah.
Getting them up. I keep thinking they're going to be down. You know, I keep thinking they're going to, you know, struggle all the time every season. You know, they look like they will.
Yeah.
And somehow, you know, they're doing well. They
always put it out of the bag.
Yeah. Yeah, you keep thinking they're going to struggle all the time and look like they're going to go down, and then they come out again. I mean, Dyche, you know, you got to see what he done there, Dyche. I mean, yeah, they got rid of him in the end, but he done a really great job with them. He kept them up all the time. That was his job. That's what he's good at doing, you know. But he stopped them conceding a lot of goals. Yeah, they weren't scoring many, but you know, defence was rigid and great. You know, it was superb. It was really strong, and especially last night. You see, our ex-player got a great goal, Tarkowski for Everton there, at 2-2 against Liverpool. So, you know, he never scored one like that for us, to be honest. But then he's really only a defender. But an incredible goal that was. What a game that was as well, to be honest, at Merseyside derby, 2-2. Brilliant game. Great advertisement for the Premier, I thought. And, yeah, it was touch and go, though, whether it was going to be disallowed, that goal. In the end, they thought it was going to be a foul or offside or whatever. But no, brilliant. Fantastic goal, yeah. Tarky, great show, BYTW. By the way, I suppose that means. But yeah, so, yeah, that was good. But, you know, getting back to this game and sort of our predictions now, Mike, because obviously going to bounce very soon. But and I think with your players, I think they're dangerous as well. I mean, Bowen always seems to have the, you know, knack of scoring against us. He got a hat trick, I think, was it in that 4-2? Was it last season?
Yeah, he did.
Seem to remember. So I think he's always dangerous. He always has been, and always will be, and going to be dangerous to us in this game. Trying to think, he rest Paqueta, his quality. Kudus, all right as well. Great player. Yeah, there's quite a lot of threats. Anyone else you would pick out? I mean, I think Evan Ferguson, if he plays, could be dangerous as well. So, anyone else really you would say?
From an attacking standpoint, you've got it spot on because Somerville isn't fit, so I wouldn't say him. But because he ain't fit. But the others, yeah, you're right. If hopefully Kuda stands up, hopefully Paquetá turns up. I need to see much more from them. I know Bowen will turn up. He turns up all the time. Not going to really put too much on Evan Ferguson, but we need to play him up front just because he's a presence. But with key players, Wan-Bissaka, if he plays, well, he will play. But Wan-Bissaka, he's been our best player this season because Bowen's been playing like out of his role, sort of thing, and injured. But Wan-Bissaka hasn't really put a foot wrong all season. Tadebo's going to come back. I think Tadebo puts our defense up to a bigger level than it has been because he's one of the best. I think he's one of the best centre backs we could have put out in the transfer window, and we got him. But he's been he got mistreated under Lopetegui. So those are the key players for me.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, for us, hopefully we'll have enough going forward with Mbomo and Visser and all that Damsgaard and Lewis Parr. I mean, Shardy. I mean, on its day, that's very potent, a great attack. And if we can do like we did maybe against Palace, I thought we were great there. Had a great display there defensively and decent going forward as well. So play like that again, I think we may get something against you. I've got a feeling though. I'd like to see. I think it may be a Desmond, something like that. This one, somehow,
Yeah.
I was thinking we may lose to you, but then again, I'm still thinking that could be a 2-2. So that's why I'm going to go with a 2-2. Mike, what are you going with?
I can see it being a 2-2. I think it will definitely be a draw. I just think it will cancel each other out. So I'd agree. I'd agree 2-2. I think there'll be a couple of goals in this game. We've both got good enough attacks for that. So yeah, 2-2. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I hope so. I think it'll be a good game, really. I hope so. Or as you say, it could be a little bit boring, but I hope not.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a good game, whoever wins. But anyway, cheers for coming on, bro. Thanks for coming on yet again. You're welcome anytime, of course. I mean, if you want to come on for reaction as well, I'm doing that on Sunday if you're available. I've got Tony coming on. Tony. Yeah. So he's coming on, another West Ham fan, obviously. So if you are welcome to come on to that if you're available. So
I'll see if I'm available. Yeah, I'll see if I'm available.
Might be about 6 o'clock. I don't know if you'll be available then, but
I'll see. Yeah, I have to check on Saturday.
Yeah, no worries, man. That'd be great if you can. Also, do you want to shout your socials out there, bro, as well?
At GVR Mikes on all platforms on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter if you want to follow me, and at GVR Mikes on YouTube if you want to subscribe.
Oh, right. I thought you'd have more than that,
mate. No, that's all the main ones. That's all the main ones. Just at GVR Mikes on everything.
Well, as for me, I'm only really doing Insta. That's all I'm really doing. I'm not doing X. I can't go on there. I can't stand that X, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow me on Insta anyway at Mr. B for Life 182 and subscribe to Mr. B Hiver Football Chat and Mr. B Chats England Cricket. Please keep smashing the likes and subbing if you're new. Let's keep this going up. I'm still only on 111 for some reason. I don't know why. Great to get some more subs, and I don't do it for subs, to be honest. This show, I love doing it. I love streaming. Doing live stuff. It's brilliant. I get real enjoyment out of it. I'm sure you do with yours as well.
Yeah.
When's your next one, by the way, Mike? Is there any tonight or tomorrow or anything?
But I'll be streaming at 7:15 for the darts. So yeah, I'll be streaming at 7:15. Yeah, doing darts every Thursday now for the Premier League. So I'll be streaming for that at 7:15.
Oh right, yeah. So I can't get into darts, mate. I'm sorry. I still think it's a pub sport. To be honest, I love playing it in the pub. I always used to, but I just don't think it's something for the TV. I don't know why. And I know it's doing well and it's popular, but I don't see it really, but yeah, I always remember. I go back to the retro times. The booze, lagers. They're drinking lagers or beers or whatever, and in front and smoking and Bristos and all that, Jockey Wilson, and and Feel the Power and whatever. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's all right, I suppose. I watch it now and again, but I'm sure your show's good for that. Please go and follow this man. He's brilliant. Got a great channel. Please sub to him and keep them going up. How many subs are you on at the moment, Mike?
760 something. I'm not too sure. I haven't checked recently, but 760 something.
Oh yeah, you're going well. You're going well. So let's keep those going up. But yeah, it's been a great show again, and thanks to you again, Mike, and thanks to everyone in the live chat, Warren and Del Boy, and a lot of the others there. Agent Ancelotti, thanks for coming in. His first time he's been in here, so it's great to have someone new. But yeah, brilliant. And obviously, watch out for my next lot. I'm doing the reaction for this, obviously for this game, and I'm doing the cricket, sort of streams as well. You're probably not into that, Mike, the cricket, but no, it's not for everyone, is it? So, but yeah, it's doing well there. I'll be doing all that with England, of course, for next week, the Champions Trophy. That's all on next week. So. More streams for that, and obviously my the Buzz show as well, the football one on my football one, of course, Mr. B Hive Football Chat. So go and check that out. That'll probably be Monday. I'll probably do that. But yeah, there's loads to come. But thanks to everyone that was watching again, and thanks for all your love and support as usual. Thank you. And till the next time, we're out of here. We are bouncing. Cheers, guys. Thanks, everyone. Bye.